without further ado, she's going to talk about from surrender to how to really lean into the things that we need to do and want to do. So I would encourage you to give her a big round of applause.
Thanks, friend. Thanks.
I'm going to kill it.
So, it's my birthday, just in case you didn't know. I know. I wanted to make sure y'all knew. So here, it's my birthday. So I've always done a word of the year. And in 2023, I chose my word. And I kid you not, I feel like on January 2nd, God said to me, I'll show you. I'll show you what surrender really is. I want to be really clear. Surrender is not quitting. Surrender is not giving up. Surrender is letting go of things that we can't control. And oftentimes, surrendering the things we love the most help us to experience the most growth. And so I was thinking about all the stuff.
Recording in progress.
Thank you.
We really want this.
So all the stuff that we all carry with us. Would you guys all agree that we all have stuff? And it all looks different. So some of us, Sarah screwed up my,
Sarah's fault.
okay.
It's all her fault. Click on the PowerPoint.
Yeah, click on the PowerPoint. It's probably one.
Brett is an expert at technology. He will fix this.
So some of us, our baggage looks like this. It's really pretty. That's Toomey luggage. It's incredibly overpriced. It's really pretty. And it hides all of our stuff in it that we don't want anybody to see. Right? Some of us have Samsonite luggage. Any of you remember? Angie, come on. You remember the Samsonite luggage? When you went to the airport, y'all, they didn't have wheels. You had to carry your crap. And it was heavy. And it's ugly. Some of us have baggage like that. And some of us have this. Right? Our stuff is falling out for everybody to see, and we got to get some old duct tape around there to hold it in, right? So what's the baggage that you need to surrender in order to live into your fullest potential, like Adam and Reiner, who I'm so glad they're in here to hear this part, we're talking about before, right? This was the hardest words I've ever said. I surrender the right to expect others to live out my values. Those of you that know me well know me that integrity and values are something I hold very dear. And I expect other people to have the same values as me because I think my values are great, right? But as long as I was living in this space, I was frustrated. I was pissed off. I couldn't understand why people weren't doing things that they said they were going to do. So I started with, I surrender the right to expect others to live out my values. And I would encourage you, whatever it is that you need to surrender, don't let the difficult circumstances break you. Use them to make you stronger. Because we all have the stuff, right? So it's all about using them to make us stronger. It's oftentimes in the pit where we get the strongest. It takes a lot of strength and grit and perseverance and all of that to climb out of the pit. So I want to give you 3 practices to go from surrender to. The first one, Merkel, is to seek joy in everything. This is something that I tell myself every day. And seeking joy in everything doesn't mean we don't experience the pain. It doesn't mean that at all. I loved this quote. I actually heard it yesterday at church, that passion is a willingness to be in pain for something that matters more than the pain. So are we passionate about our career here? Because can we all be real? There's going to be some suck. There's going to be some pain. Marjorie was talking about recruiting people that leave. I feel like I have mastered that really, really well. Like I am the queen of hire people that won't make it. right? But I'm still so freaking passionate about this place. So passionate. So are you? The great wise philosopher, Brad Lewis, some of you may know him, told me, visit the suck, but don't live there. Visit the suck, but don't live there. How many of us are living in the suck right now? Because let me tell you why. How many of our clients are living in the suck? Because insert all of their crap that they've got in the duct taped luggage, right? So seek joy in all that we do because, y'all, everything has an expiration date. Everything has an expiration date. The bad and the good. It all has an expiration date. We've all experienced loss. We've all experienced pain. Some loss hits hard, takes a little longer. But it's like the great philosopher also said, it's like the date on the milk jug. It's going to come, and it's going to go. And then there's going to be a new date on the milk jug. So, are you seeking the joy? In order to feel joy, you have to be willing to visit the suck, but don't live there. It is hard, but it's worth it. The second thing that I really had to learn how to do is to stay in your own daggum lane. Stay in your own lane, run your own race. I don't know how many people are in this room, 20-some? We're all running a different race. Our destination is the same, but we're all going to get there differently. Maybe our destination isn't even the same. Maybe it's different. But that's okay. There's no win in comparison. If you compare yourself to somebody else in this room, there's no win. There's no win for anybody. So stay in your own lane. I love this picture because it looks like one of the roads that Brad and I travel in our old cars. And I think about this. There's a lot of different ways to get to a place. And I typically have a different path than Brad when we're driving. And he'll say to me, Carrie, we were talking about the detective, he'll say to me, well, there's extra turns or that one goes north to go south, and why wouldn't you go this way? And I'm like, dude, it doesn't matter. We're both getting there. You do you, I'll do me. And it's so true. So in this career, how many of us are getting out of our lane? And I love this. What happens when we get out of our lane and we focus on the person in the lane next to us? We lose. I don't know who that dude is swimming next to Michael Phelps. He didn't win. That's right. He's the dude that looked at Michael Phelps instead of focusing on where the heck he was supposed to go, right? So stay in your own lane. Your lane was created for you. Stay in it. It's okay. My lane looks different than Jenny's, than Care2's, than Reiner's, who's ever, right? Stay in your own lane. This is when I used to be a runner, Brent. You can tell by the look on my face how much I enjoyed it. I visited the suck, but I didn't live there. Right? This is also Leslie, for those of you that don't know. That's Leslie. I decided I was going to be a runner. Y'all look at me. Come on. I know that positive self-talk is really good. These legs are not runner legs. I do not run like a gazelle. I run like an 800-year-old man with one foot on a banana peel, right? Ready to die. But I did it. I said I was going to do it because I'm a person of integrity. I said I was going to run. I didn't run alone. I ran with someone, and we celebrated each other at the end. And I ran my own race. I knew what I wanted to accomplish. If I tell you what my goal was for my time, some of you that are runners would be like, oh my God, are you the turtle? Yeah, I am. But I freaking ran the whole thing. Run might be a really loose term. But I did it because I said I was going to do it. I can't compare my race to someone else's race. So seek joy in everything. Stay in your own lane. Run your own race. Serve others first. We all hear this, right? Just be a servant. Serve people. Servant selling. Do this, do it. Well, what the heck does it mean? It can mean something different to all of us. But when we put others before ourselves, we win. And guess who else wins? They do. They win. So here's some of the people that I love to serve first, my clients. This is Sarah Beth Prendeville. She enrolled in coaching on March 13th, 2020. Does anybody know what happened on March 13th, 2020? The freaking world shut down. I enrolled her for coaching as an elite client. I now have the equivalent of 18 people from there in coaching, because my goal was not get 18 people from Sarah Beth's company in coaching. It was serve Sarah Beth and all of her people. And serving people is calling them to greatness, and it's getting people like Sarah Beth to say, why would I want to teach my people how to be leaders? That's you guys' job. I met her for the first time last week. She's in Atlanta. This is Jim, Lori created these lovely rocket books that we have, and Jennifer Bergantino. They came to the Elite Retreat. I got to spend a lot of time with them. This is Adam Huddle. He's a national champion wrestler for Ohio State. Oh, Tony's not in here. Steve Frody. Y'all have heard me talk about Steve Frody. He signed up for coaching, y'all, when we paid $4.99 for a 6-month commitment. He stayed for a long time, and then he left because he was going to go get a franchise coach. And then in 2020, I talked to him, and he's like, yeah, I never should have quit. And I said, you're right, because it's now, I think it was $1,200 at that time. And he goes, what? I'm like, Steve, I told you. He's like, I'll never quit. I'm like, I know. Calling people to greatness. My coworkers. This is my new team member, Lori, that was introduced to me by Belinda in Atlanta. Y'all get to meet her tomorrow. But getting right out of the gate and going down and working with her and Belinda and helping her get clients on the board before she steps into Global Summit. Serving people. Becca and Melanie. So y'all know, Becca and Melanie are now on Karla's team. We all know why, right? But serving them, calling them to their greatness and seeing the change in them. Serving with Tony and Elizabeth has been amazing. It's called me to a level of leadership I didn't know I had in me, but somebody saw it. But serving with them. Serving my team. Serving us, each other. Part of serving is holding people accountable to doing what they said they would do, right, Gina Parker? And he wanted to bet us again. Are we kicking ourselves that we didn't take his bet this year?
You didn't ask me.
Oh, he asked me.
I was waiting for all these.
Yeah. But so in that, y'all that know me know that that is my world. That is my world. And for those of you that prayed for little Hudson, the reason his eyes are down is that was before his surgery. And I have no words to thank you all for who prayed for him. He's amazing now. So it's serving my family, being bold enough to ask for people to come along beside us. It was a good night. That was last Christmas when Brad found out he needed to drive my then 86-year-old parent or 85-year-old parents 2.5 hours on the turnpike to Christmas. And we were going to stay in a hotel that night, and this was Brad before we were getting ready to leave.
So you drank before you?
No, we drank when we got there. This is Brad. I love this picture because this is the Brad that y'all don't get to see. And I will tell you that this is a candle. And on the candle, it was a gift to him last year for Christmas. It says, I hope this candle smells better than the shit I put you through. But serving with Brad as a leader in our family, as someone who helps me grow this business, has been my honor for the last 35 years. And it will continue to be. But it's putting other people first. It's not sweating the small stuff. It's surrendering the frustrating parts. Because I know I frustrate him at times too. It's the nature of living with someone, right? But it's putting them first and truly serving them and surrendering. So y'all, I surrendered a hell of a lot. I'm going to continue to surrender a hell of a lot this year. But I decided at the end of December, Brad and I were getting ready to go out for dinner. We've done date night every Wednesday night for the last 11 years almost. And when I went out and got in the car, I said, hey, tonight on date night, this isn't the topic I want to talk about. I want to talk about what is my word of the year. And then I just kept talking because those of you that know Brad knows he doesn't talk a lot. And I kept talking, and then I looked at him, and I'm like, I know what my word of the year is. He's like, okay.
Oh.
That's my word of the year. Here's the thing. Yes, it means what you're all sitting there thinking, but it means so much more than that. It means being a good partner to Brad. It means being a good partner to my grandchildren. Somebody, I can't remember who said it, Adam, you did, about how we can teach these concepts to young children. Yeah, my 5-year-old granddaughter called me the other day, and she said, Grammy. I said, yes, Nirvana. She said, my mom just said can't, and I need you to talk to her. It's being a good partner. They're watching. So I know a lot of you in here don't have grandchildren. Some of you are blessed like Angie and I and do. However, it's your kids. They're listening. They're watching. It's being a good partner to everybody in my life. It's being a good partner to all of you all. It's so much bigger than becoming a partner at Southwestern. I'm being very clear, and I'm standing in this truth right now. I frickin' am going to hit that damn goal this year. And I'm going to do it while being a really good partner to everybody I just showed you on the screen, because that's more important to me than any amount of money in the bank, any amount of stuff I can acquire, and I like stuff, right? I like stuff. I like nice stuff. I like my softy coat that Gina's sitting in right now. But this is what I would leave you with as encouragement. I don't dance around the perimeter of the person I want to be. I step in fully and completely. And my hope and prayer is, friends, and I truly mean my prayer is that you all do too.